I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Buku signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. I'm Billy Giannouloudis, and today, guys, we have Andrea Urciuoli back on the show, and we've been trying to get this topic to you guys that I believe is just so powerful, and it's going to help you in so many of those little nitty-gritty moments where we're struggling and we're trying to just find the strength to get to the next moment. Guys, today's message is about the victorious decisions. And something powerful about this, guys, that I need you to grasp is that the victorious decision is usually not the big, grander decisions that we feel we have to make at times or what we think could change our life in a moment. The victorious decision is all about those small victories that we go through. So, Andrea, thank you so much for being here. Tell us, what's the small victory?
Thank you. First of all, we should say Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. We're still meeting on Father's Day. Small victories. You know, I do want to talk about the small victories because I think we tend to poo-poo them and push them aside. We all have those days where even when things are going well, we don't feel like getting out of bed. Or just a couple weeks ago, I've been doing great with my classes and things are going well and I'm getting through my stuff, but I had a setback. I was like, this didn't quite happen the way I wanted it to happen. That day didn't happen the way I really thought it would. This relationship kind of fizzled out. So all cumulative in my brain, I was like thinking that everything was bad. That's our self-sabotage that we do to ourselves. So I have the type of personality, I'm a morning person. I love to get up and have my coffee and stretch out and teach my classes. But I felt set back this one day, and I want to talk about it today because we all have that day where we're just kind of like, don't know what it is. We can't put our finger on it, but we don't feel that 100%. We might even feel just like 5% that day, and you're not really sure how to get out of your own way. So I do want to talk about small victories today. Small victories could be just starting with the breath. You're not sure, you don't feel like going to the gym that morning. You don't even know if you want to eat healthy that day. You're not sure where you're going. And that's kind of how I felt that day. And that's why I'm excited to talk about it, because I said to myself, how do I correct this now? Because I don't want to feel bad today. So I did. I sat up in my bed and I started with my breath. I just did a couple of minutes of breath work. I was like, it just set the tone for, right, get out of bed. You don't have to go to the gym and be so fantastic and fabulous today. It doesn't always have to be. We can't have 100% every day.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So after the breath work, I do like to meditate for like 10, 15 minutes, but I wasn't into it. I did it for like 2 to 3 minutes, a couple of minutes. It softened my brain. I calmed down. I guess I was overthinking that morning. And then I went to the floor and I just mildly stretched out for 5 minutes. Was feeling a little pinch in my lower back. I felt a little tight in my knee. I just felt like after I did that, I ate healthier. I just made something a little bit less sugary. I had my lemon water. My point is it set the tone for the day, and the day did not have to be 150%, but it got me on the right track. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that. It's a snowball effect. You know, we start in such a bad area, but we do that small victory, like you said, for you was starting with your breath. And the next small victory was stretching. And then that got the mind and the body moving. And then you're like, all right, I'll choose to eat healthy. Rather than going down the wrong path of a negative decision or a loss, for that matter, rather than victory. But it started the growth for the rest of the day. So rather than you feeling like you're at 0%, now you're at 1, 5. Now you're at 10.
Right, because I didn't feel energetic, and I'm always energized, but I wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to go to the gym. I have a little issue with my ankle. And I was like, if I stay in bed and sleep another hour, don't do my breath work, don't stretch out, I bet you I'll go downstairs and eat something not so great. Like I could already foresee how the day is gonna which is why I started with, I always go back to the breath.
Yeah.
And it does transform, and it changes your mind. And I was feeling anxious, and I couldn't put my finger on it. It stopped. The anxiousness dissipated.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that because your first decision was to take a step back, with the breath.
Yeah.
Rather than you going forward with the day, you could take a step back and say, I know if I go downstairs, I'm going to eat unhealthy. I know it's going to set the tone for the day. I know that something's going to follow that. You took a step back with the breath to take time to start your day, to look at it differently through a different lens. And then that started the day to go forward.
Yeah.
In a victorious way.
And acknowledge those small victories. I think we all, and I do this, I know you do this too, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to get the best job, get the best relationship, shave 10 pounds off my waistline before summer starts. I mean, we all have these checklists. Yeah. And you know what? None of that can happen in a day, a week, or even a month. It's and we all have these dreams or these notions of grandiose things, and we should have those checklists to better ourselves. But I think we expect a lot of ourselves, and I want all these things to happen in 3 weeks when I don't really think I can accomplish all this stuff in 3 weeks. So when I started to acknowledge those small victories that day, I put a smile back on my face. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I didn't choose to eat this junk for breakfast, and maybe I didn't walk 5 miles and take 2 Pilates classes, but I stretched out my body, and my body felt better. Yeah. And my mind felt better.
Yeah. You're better for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And going forward to whatever the day brought.
Yeah.
That's something I find with small victories or just decisions in general, and why I kept emphasizing you making a decision is because there's so much power in our decision making. And why I wanted to coin this video with the victorious decisions, it's because the small victory decisions are so powerful to just keep us on the right track for the day, but to improve our life. And I always tell everyone, when you look back on your life down the line, when you look back, it's the small decisions and the small steps you made that were actually bigger and got you to where you need to be, rather than these massive steps we think we need to take. But on that topic of decisions, congruent decisions is something that I feel has just become such a pivotal piece to my life to making progress. And what a congruent decision is you sitting there, taking the time, kind of like what Andrea did with her breath. But you sit there, you take your time, and you write out where you want to be, what you want to do, and how you're going to get there. You congruently decide, I'm going to make this happen, and I'm not giving into the distractions anymore. You have a moment with yourself, just like taking the breath, just like stretching, where you can center yourself, and you find out what it's going to be. But you don't take no for an answer anymore. You raise your standards to a point where I'm going to make this happen. It's become a must for me. It's no longer a maybe or when I have time. Your congruent decision guides you there. And raising your standards and whatever it means for you, where I'm not going to go out on a Saturday night this week. I'm going to dedicate time to my goals. I'm not going to choose an unhealthy meal because my goal has always been to get abs. I'm going to choose to be healthy. The small victory in that one decision that we make. But it's not taking no for an answer anymore. You're doing this, and there are no distractions that are going to stop you. Congruently deciding and making everything shift towards you making that. And why I wanted to bring this into this small victory talk is because when you make that decision, it looks like such a small piece, but just as Andrea said, it spreads. It becomes a massive victorious decision off of one small piece, because you make the decision, a small victory, whatever it is, and then you take action to unfold it. That's where a congruent decision is. But you decide in your mind, your heart, your soul, I'm making this happen. And that's a small snowball effect to bring you to progress. Just as a small victory is with your breath work, with meditation, with stretching, with whatever, with reading just to calm your mind. It could be anything for you. Yeah. Just as Andrea described what her traits are, or what her choices are to help her recenter herself and continue to move forward in better decisions for the rest of the day, like she did with healthy eating. But making a congruent decision is so powerful, and I think it's a power that we all have that we all overlook. Because when you can make a decision to change your life in a moment and then take action after it, and you get to a point in your life where you're just like, I can't do this anymore, I just have to do something, that's you making a congruent decision. Yeah. That's you moving forward on it after, because you're not giving into distractions, and you're no longer taking no for an answer. And that seems like such a small thing when I can say it on this video, but when you do it, it's a massive victory for you in the moment.
Because we all can get off track. And I feel like I've been on this positive track for so long, and you know, the book's going great, our work is going great, our videos, the job, things are moving. I mean, come on, we're not, we try to be superhuman, like in becoming supernatural, but we're human, and we're gonna have setbacks. And the reason why I'm so adamant with our groups to get back with the breath is because I personally felt that day, you said centered, I felt not centered. And I felt like my alignment was off. I knew it. And it's funny because I had been recently, not bragging, but I've been recently saying in my mid-40s, I feel great. I feel like I'm 25 years old. I have no ailments. I'm able to teach this really tough class. I don't need to sleep that much. And I'm like, bum, 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 bum. Well, that particular morning, I didn't feel that way. I'm like feeling stressed. I didn't sleep that great. I had a little pinch in my lower back and my knee, and I'm like, oh man, what's going on with me? This isn't me. Like, I felt a huge setback. So I thought something was wrong, but I just felt my mind was taking over, overthinking, and putting so much pressure on myself to be perfect for my friends, my kids, my relationships, and you know, we cannot be perfect.
Exactly.
You need to go back to the breath to realign yourself, and that set the tone for the day. And I wanted to bring up an example of career-wise. We had talked about this prior to putting the video on, that I've been searching for in a work forum, an outlet to talk about this stuff in a group setting. And I've been doing this volunteer work for quite some time, and it's been gratifying, and it feels good. I feel like I went back to college, but I wanted it to be in a setting where I get paid. It's like a career, because I really believe in this work, but I have to support my family too. So I recently met somebody, and we were exchanging emails, and she canceled on me, and it just, we weren't connecting. And my mind was telling me to keep up with the dialogue and contact her again, but my body was like, oh, I'm not too sure, I don't know. I was going back and forth and back and forth. Well, and I ended up connecting with this woman, and now we're gonna do something together to help people. But I think we can self-sabotage ourselves. I think we can have these setbacks because we feel insecure. We feel like we cannot do the task at hand. Just because somebody canceled on me, I thought it was over.
I agree with that 100%. I think self-sabotage is such a massive topic. And where our mind, I always say, where your mind goes, energy flows. So
we talk about that every week.
Exactly. If your mind goes to a negative place and you start self-sabotaging, you start thinking the worst about yourself, you start walking in that, causing your day that you're walking in to be sabotaged the rest of the day.
I said, oh, she canceled on me. Maybe she doesn't want to meet with me. And instead of listening, she literally had a family issue. She couldn't meet with me. But I went to that, oh, maybe this isn't for me. That
brings up another topic I wanted to add on that.
Sure.
Because when you were going over that story, something that stuck out to me was you said something kept telling you to keep the dialogue and intuition. So you're getting something that's saying to you, just keep it going. This woman is just going through her own struggles. So it's like, timing had to line up perfectly for you to do it, but it would have stopped if you let self-sabotage win rather than acting on your intuition that kept saying, just keep it going.
We also let a few weeks go by to not connect. We were only connecting via email through a mutual friend. And I was excited, and then I wasn't. And then I got excited again, and then I'm like, no more emails. Get back to what I'm doing right now. I was working on something else. Allowing, that's something else I want to talk about too. Just being and allowing. Sometimes you need to stop and let things just be. Just allow. Definitely. It kind of falls back to the breath. I didn't have a profound response to her. Get back to it another time. Hope your family's okay. It was just, it was just, but once I allowed it to just be, I decided to send a pleasant email one day, and we pinpointed a time and the time was right for her and for me, and we met, and things just went. We went to this happy place together, and now we're going to work together. But I allowed, sometimes in life you need to allow things to just, you don't always know what the outcome's going to be.
Exactly.
And we've talked about outcome before.
Yeah.
Don't try to find out right there and then, what is the outcome? Am I going to get this job that day?
Yeah.
Am I going to get into that relationship that day? Am I going to be 10 pounds lighter in 30 days? How about just starting with the breath?
Yeah.
And being centered.
Just relaxing.
Just relaxing, and forget about the 10 pounds, or forget about meeting that girl, or forget about, just start, just be, and allow.
Exactly.
And see what, that to me has been enormous.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much power in that. But with the world we live in, it's as if living a hectic life, unknowingly, where it's like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. The news is telling me this is going on in the world. Our minds are instantly start thinking about all these things that are happening, rather than just being here in the moment.
In the moment.
Focusing on breath, stretching, whatever that means for you. Reading, like where you can just be you.
Yes.
We're really directed away from that, just going about our days. But when you can come back to that, that's when you can just be, and as you said, allowing things to just unfold the way.
I think most people are, and I'm not afraid to say this because I was that person, I think most people are afraid to just be. I don't know many people, and I do have friends that roll their eyes at my work because they think it's woo-woo and out there. And I would have felt that way years ago too if I looked into this, but now that I'm experiencing profound benefits that are unbelievable, like just your mind, your body, whatever, I'm an advocate for this mindfulness work, but I think most people struggle with shutting down and not looking at your TV and not looking at your phone and not finding the perfect chair. And do I need a drink next to me? Do I need to get some snacks? Like to just sit in that place and allowing, I think a lot of people struggle with that. But if you try it and experience that, you do feel centered because your brain starts to calm down. And that's when the creativity starts to begin. And I just did that the other day because I wanted to write a paper for this new person that I'm going to be working for, but she wanted some thoughts on paper. But I was nervous to even sit by myself to write this paper because I put that much pressure on me. But once I shut down the phone, and my God, I think it's pretty scary to shut your phone off. I do. It's like, am I actually going to press that button and disconnect? I think we struggle, and I struggle with that too. Well, what if my kids want to talk to me, and what if this one's calling me? Just shut it down and have no TV on. Well, that's when all these creative juices started to flow, and all the stuff actually came on paper, and now I'm able to have this cool proposal that I want to talk about.
I think that's profound in how much power is in it. I've had so many friends that, when they're going through struggles, and a great friend of mine, he coined it, I gotta go off the grid. I'm going off the grid. He just took out all social media.
Oh,
He just
smart.
And he has his phone, but he doesn't use it to the point where we all have to check what the heck's going on Facebook or something like that. He said he's off the grid, and to see the positivity that's come out of this kid's life. He lost a massive amount of weight. He looks incredible.
Wow.
He's pursuing what he wants to pursue. He's trying to be a teacher and everything. He's such a great friend, and just to see him move forward when he went off the grid shows how much power there is in going off the grid.
See, I'm an advocate because I wasn't a big Facebooker. I wish I was more into social media because it does help our business, and I shy away from it. But once you really take a step back from it, you just become more authentic.
And that it's that coming down that we keep reiterating in this, where whether it's breath, like I keep saying, coming down to that point where you can just relax and just, as you touched on, with anxiety, your mind running, whatever it may be, it's tough at first to sit in that moment and just be. And it's right when you do it, you're going to ask yourself why you're doing it. But repetition, practicing, going from 1 minute to 5 minutes to 10 minutes over the course of a couple days, your mind does come down, just as you said, to the point where you can, and then creativity about your life.
You don't understand it unless you actually experience it. To just be. And I love off the grid when you said that because I have tried it recently, and even though we need to be on YouTube, we need to tell the world because we love this work and this work works.
Yeah.
Going off the grid doesn't mean, shutting everything down, but
exactly.
shutting down Facebook for a while and the constant looking and texting and whatever.
Yeah.
When you do experience that, that is why you experience all this creativity and wonderful things can start to happen because it's shaving down the ego, which I think it was 2 months ago we had a video on that. And once you shave down that ego, you do become more human.
Yeah.
And more real.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that video at the end of this one, guys, so you can check it out. One last topic we want to dive into. I know, Andrea, you want to. Intuition. Can you dive into intuition?
Real quick.
We mentioned it real briefly.
Yes. I think we all have very strong intuition, but to tap into it, you can also be afraid of it too.
Yeah.
I recently turned my cheek. I was in a scenario where I could feel something, and I was like, maybe I'm wrong, and I literally turned my cheek to it. But a few weeks later, my intuition was correct, and I didn't tap into it, and I knew right from wrong.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes I feel it more profoundly for other people.
Yeah.
Like intuitively, I can see it for my friends, and I don't want to see it for myself. Intuitively, guys, you know what's up in the world. You know if you're walking into a toxic relationship. You know if you're even walking into a career that might not be great for your future. Follow it. Or intuitively, you might feel like this is the right step for me, but I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Follow that.
Yeah.
Because I always follow my intuition,
Exactly.
and I didn't that one time, and I was like,
Yeah.
you caught myself,
Exactly.
and just follow that feeling, whether it's good or bad, or you're not sure, and you need to just center yourself. Your body and your mind will tell you right from wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
to close that out on intuition, guys, why I wanted that to be part of this message is because intuitively, you're gonna know if you're stepping into self-sabotage. Intuitively, you're gonna know if you're about to make a small victory or you're about to start your day not on the best foot. Intuitively, you're going to know if you need to make this congruent decision and if that is the right one to go. But it's only going to happen if you take the first step of action, whether that's picking up a pen and going for a piece of paper, or whatever that means for you to start now.
To start now. And intuitively, I will just say for the last time, intuitively, when I was feeling a little just off, my body, my mind, I felt stressed. I couldn't say it's because of this.
Yeah.
Intuitively, I knew. I said, I've got to feel better.
Yeah.
I can't go through this today. I want to feel great. Go back to your breath.
Yeah.
That was like the virus that started. It was the breath and the clean water and the stretch and the good breakfast. And bam, it was a better day because intuitively I had to do it for myself. Nobody could have done that for me then.
Yeah.
Nobody was, and don't look to others to fix your day.
Yeah.
You start with your day and realign whatever you need to do. Even if before you go into work and you have that meeting at 9 o'clock and it's 7 a.m., shut down for that 10 minutes. Get off of social media.
Yeah.
Just realign your mind and your body by just kind of like, just be and start with the breath.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Just be. And Andrea, thank you so much for being here for another message, and I enjoy the work we're doing. I can't wait for the next one. Guys, small victories, making the victorious decision, a congruent decision, your intuition, all these pivotal points as well as the other messages that we've done, they're all at your disposal.
Yep.
And why we want to bring this to you is because since they're at your disposal, if we can shine some light onto that for you, you can use it to better your life in whatever way that means for you. Making a victorious decision, guys, is the power that's in your hand. Whether that's something as small as breathing, stretching, making a healthy decision, it betters your life, and it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
It just starts to happen.
It betters your day, which betters your life.
Exactly. Yeah. But guys, take this message and run with it. And if there's something that you need more information on, comment. If there's something if there's questions that you have, comment. We're going to answer them. We're going to be right there for you because we want to help you in every way we can. Thank you for tuning in. Andrea,
thanks so much. Yep, have a great day.
Have a good one, guys.
know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made.